Sorry about that, guys. We'll have to cut this into two. Back to what we were talking about, sacking out a dog. These terminologies come from the horse industry, and my mom was a thoroughbred agent, so I'm used to a lot of the same terminology, and they apply to the dog just as much as they do a horse or a colt that you're working. They usually use that term. I've talked about it before. When you're sacking out a colt, you're getting him used to that gunny sack that you're going to end up desensitizing the animal to movement, spooky things, and getting them kind of stable. So you can start slowly but surely getting a saddle on their back. Well, with a dog, it's the same thing, environmental. I want to get the dog out and start getting him used to environment as much as I can, and doing it in such a way that the dog becomes very stable and neutral to almost anything as an environment. I want him to be able to jump onto things. I use the jumble piles. I do all kinds of slick floors. That's one of the reasons I love Home Depot. They've always got those nice slick cement floors. They've got forklifts driving around. They've got noise. They've got people all over the place. And it's a great environment because it's a neutral environment. You have people that are doing their own thing and they're not giving your puppy any attention. And so that means you can walk the dog through and not have to worry about that overall big mistake, that because puppies get really freaked out at certain things. Every dog's different, so they could have a myriad of different reactions to different stimuli that's coming at them, right? So that good boy, Zecky. That being the case, now I'm going to tone down my praise with this because I don't have to do it anymore. So I'm going to start reducing that praise towards this stick and he's carrying in his mouth, and let him just work it on his own and do a lot more of that. You notice I was talking about my voice tone yesterday. Well, we've got the pattern started now, right? So I don't need to help him out as much. So now I'm going to back off that attitude, stop giving him voice tone, start letting him do his own thing and experiencing life on his own a little bit, and start reversing that help that I'm giving him, because he doesn't need it as much, and we want to make sure that we don't have that as a crutch where he needs it all the time, right? They can get fixated on everything at this age, especially when you're training, because you're doing this on purpose. You're imprinting him with all this stuff and getting him those drives in the right spots, and that's what it's all about. We need to take that away from him slow but sure. It'd be the same thing if you were to give, like me, I do a lot of body language and a lot of things to help my dogs, and that gets to be something that's stuck in there. And so phasing out that help is very important. If you talk to some trainers, they want you to give almost no help at all and work the dog through it, and then you don't have to worry about phasing out that help, right? Voice tone, body language, all these things dogs pick up on tremendously. Good boy, Zeck. Good boy, Zeck. Good boy. What are you doing, huh, buddy? You can go potty. You go free hunt. You go free hunt. Nope. I'm going to do the same thing here. He's over greeting me. Good boy, Zecky, good. And if I needed to, I would have nipped him, but I'm not going to. That's again, pattern and consistency, right? We have a consistent reaction every time he does whatever he's doing that leads into a behavior change and a shift in behavior. So right away, if he came up to me and he's clinging and I nip him every time, after a while, he's going to stop doing that. You just got to be balanced. You got to be fair, right? Fairness is the key. What is fairness? Consistency, right? Consistency with what you want and how you treat the animal, right? All right, so we've been doing a lot of that, sacking the animal out down at Home Depot, getting used to different surfaces, climbing on the wood, he's climbing ladders. We're gonna do all this stuff and really get him as stable as we can before he goes back to his owners. Now, the thing with a dog trainer is we work with the animals and we also work with the owners. Remember, there's a famous saying, we don't train the dogs, we train the people, okay? That being the case, everything's gonna be dependent on how they pick up on what I teach them when they come back, and if they follow through with doing the same things. If they go right back into the same lifestyle, they go right back into, oh, my little snookums, he will revert right back to it. Now, I like to tell a story of a little chihuahua that I got many years ago. I was working at a pet store, and this is around the time I was hanging with Caesar. And a customer came to me, and she had a little small min pin. And she loved her little dog, and she put him in for training. And I took him into my home. I used to do it out of my house and all kinds of things I've done over the years. But I was determined to go ahead, and I usually do. I kind of pick a theme, right? What do I want to achieve with this dog that I can kind of show off to the owner and bring out something that's special in the animal? And Zecky, come on, Bubba's. We're going to take you to the kennel. I got a bunch of other dogs to go. Yeah, I'm going to put you in the holding pen and come back and work you. Come on, let's go with me. Good. So we're going to take Zecky, put him back in the cage. So I took the little min pin and I worked him. And my goal with the little min pin was to make him the largest dog I could possibly make in the smallest body, which means I praised him real nice and stout with a heavy type of pride. Good boy. And I even got a finger sleeve. There used to be these little sleeves that ran around the different protection trials that were a lighter cover. And the jute little lighter cover that was like a sleeve. I got one of these, and I was actually getting the dog to do bites on this stuff, and made himself look like a big dog, right? And I stroked him like a big dog, and I treated him like a big. So pretty soon when he came out, he was so proud. And he was a great-looking dog, and when he got done, the mom was real proud of him because he was just a real stout little booger, you know? And so I was real proud of that. And I gave the dog back to her, and she took the dog. She started coming to take lessons. Within 2 weeks, this dog was back to the same neurotic mess that it was before, because she went right back to treating it like a small dog. What do people do that are very consistent with small dogs? Oh, my little Snookums, oh, my little baby. And the dog ends up being a neurotic mess. You see him, you go to pet him, the dog's yapping at you, trying to bite you. That's because how people treat the dog. Doesn't matter if it's a small dog, large dog. People treat small dogs like that. They're little lap pets always the same way. Oh, my little baby. And it's usually females that own them and treat them that way. So that being the case, the dogs end up being neurotic messes and biters and everything else, and people don't realize that a small dog shouldn't be doing that behavior any more than a large dog, but they get away with it because they're a small dog. So the point is that you can have a dog revert right back to the same old thing. A dog is not a robot. He is a product of two things: his genetic makeup and the environment that he lives in, okay? And if you imprint this when they're puppies, you do the right thing, you get yourself a nice, strong dog. Like I said, if he goes back to the owners start foo-fooing him and start treating him in the same way they used to, he's going to go right back to the same thing within a matter of a week or two. It doesn't take anything. No, Zecky. So, that's the way it works. I'm going to get busy here. So I'll talk to you guys a little later. We're going to show you Zecky's growth as we go along and start showing me sacking him out a little more down at Home Depot. We're doing a lot of trips down there. We'll be down there again today. I might go down to Ted's and then stop down through my outdoor malls and some other places that I go to down there. Take the puppy for the ride. That's a good idea. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Thanks much. Bye-bye.